and nothing but the truth.
Okay, ready?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. All right, go. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do and how you do it. Not just for this, but everything about yourself for a moment, and
Okay.
so we'll know who you are.
All right, well, my name's Jeff Higgs. I'm a Staff Sergeant in the Marine Corps. I'm the small ensemble leader for the Marine Band and the Chief Audio Engineer. I got approached by Fred through a friend of mine, actually my boss, Josh Stone, saying they needed someone, that can work with a score and somebody that had some technical background as well. So I came, and now I'm, running the video for Flickr.
Good. Okay. Is all that good? Okay. And you'll give us, I'm going to use kind of a verbal talent release here, so we can use this on the website, on the internet, wherever we want to publicize this, and we have your permission to do all of that?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Our program, of course, as you know, runs because you're actually following the score, and I want you to talk a little bit about that. And you can say something like, the Flickr program is part of the film score in reverse, which means I cue all the scenes backstage while I'm listening to the orchestra, follow the score, and look at the cue points, and then cue it to fit into the orchestra. So explain a little bit about how it works.
Okay. Try to remember all that.
Yeah, just in your
And
own
you can
words.
cut and
We
paste
can
everything.
cut and
Okay.
paste, absolutely.
Well, the Flickr program is part of Score in Reverse, and it's basically I'm running different video segments while listening to the orchestra, and I've got scores in the background, so I'm kind of following, what the conductor's doing. I'm listening, and each point in the music, there's a cue, and I'll cue the videos with different faster or slower sections in the music.
Right. Now, typically, the orchestra leader, conductor would have to follow a particular pace and have to maybe even follow a click track or a flashing dot or something like that, which is pretty
Right.
difficult. And you being a conductor yourself, you would know how difficult that would be. Whereas this gives you a little bit more expression and the ability to time it so that you're timing it from backstage. Tell me what you think about the concept of film score in reverse.
I think it's great. I think it frees up the conductors to be conductors and get to put their own interpretation on music. They get to slow it down a little bit, speed it up a little bit. They get to put their own expression into it and really get down to how they feel about the music without being so confined as to a click track or the bouncing ball that you've seen before. They really get to open up and use their musicianship and express that in their interpretation and in their knowledge on the score and the composers and things like that.
And I'm going to do it a little bit with Fred, as Daniel said. I'm going to get a shot kind of the screen in the background with him conducting as kind of a silhouette. And with the position of the screen the way it is here, he can actually see, the orchestra can't see it, but he'll be able to look up and see the music and see the film, so he can finish something and finish it right as it fades to black or time some things a little bit to that. That makes it pretty effective, I think, overall. So how easy is it to follow the score and cue this? Was it very difficult, or is it simple? Or
The music that was chosen for this program is actually pretty difficult literature. So if I didn't have a background in music at all, it probably would be pretty difficult because I'd be counting bars. But with a musical background and understanding how scores work, it was fairly easy. I can hear the orchestra. I can follow in the score. I just press the space bar to cue the next video. The company actually put all of the cues in the music, so it's very easy to follow. It's actually very easy.
were you able to use the DVD to play the program and see someone cueing it there and follow along? Was that helpful to you?
Very, very helpful.
Say that in a complete thought, the DVD,
The
training DVD.
whole package comes with a training DVD that has, it basically shows somebody doing what I was expected to do. And it was very helpful because I got to see, how he was cueing, how he was following, how he was counting the bars, how he was, approaching the whole thing in general. Plus, I got to hear some of the basic tempos that the music was going to be played in. So I wasn't completely in the dark if I hadn't heard of any of these pieces, which most of them are pretty standard literature. But if you're, if who you chose to do this isn't, so intertwined in music, they can still follow along and listen to the DVD and be able to have some familiarity with the scores.
We think that obviously we suggest getting someone, the more familiar they are with the music and the more they can follow the score, the better. But if someone is just basically musical and can at least tell where one of the lines, maybe they're following the violin lines or something like that that's coming in. Do you think it takes a lot of musical talent to be able to cue along with this?
I don't think it takes a lot of musical talent. There needs to be some sort of background. If you're just used to one line and you're following, say, one of the horn parts or something like that, a lot of times in orchestral scores they just go to strings, so you might get a little lost. So, I mean, a basic understanding of scores helps, but no, not too much music background is really necessary.
Once you saw the program and you got a chance to listen to the music and see the video that we had, what do you think of the Flickr program?
I think it's incredible. I think it's a great program. I think it's very artistic. I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are enjoying the show tonight and Sunday.
How do you think this will impact the audience?
I think there's a little bit of everything in the show. There's some humor. There's some, stuff that'll bring out a tear. There's a little bit of everything. I think they're going to be very surprised when they get to see what it actually is.
Do you think this kind of program is helpful to draw people to the symphony?
Absolutely. I do think that this would help draw people to the symphony, because there's a lot of people out there who may not understand what a symphony is really about the literature, about anything. They just like watching movies. So it kind of merges two worlds together, and the moviegoers get to come and enjoy these great pieces of film and maybe bite off a little piece of orchestra that they've never known before. And vice versa. If it's just an orchestra goer, they get to come along. I'm not very familiar with films, and getting to see all these old films, it was great. I love them, and I hope that the audience gets as much out of it as I have.
Good. One of the big reasons we're trying to do this is because a lot of the people that support the symphony is an older demographic. They've been doing it for years, and of course, as those people die off, I hate to say it that way, but as they disappear, basically, and you're expecting younger people to get involved, younger people are more multimedia oriented, and I think all of this is designed to help increase your audience and get people that normally wouldn't spend an evening at the symphony to come to the symphony for something like this. So if you agree with that, say something like that about maybe the younger demographic or the kind of people it could attract.
Okay, I do absolutely agree with that statement. I think that our younger generations do require more than just one medium. There's so much going on today, and video has really become a big part of society. You've got the Facebook, and you've got all these different things going on. Just going out to listen to a symphony may not be something that interests the younger generations. But when we're adding the video, we're adding the live, different live aspects of it, I think it is something that they'll get into and they'll actually enjoy. And they'll come to enjoy something that our grandfathers and great-grandfathers and mothers actually just enjoyed on a weekend basis, just going out to watch the symphony play, or to a ballet, or to anything like that.
Good. Would you recommend this program to orchestras?
Absolutely. I would recommend it to any orchestra that can get their hands on it.
Good. Anything else that you would want to say that I haven't asked you?
No, not really.
Good. 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 Thank you.